My name is Ignacio. I go by Cacho Tattoo. I'm a single needle fine line tattoo artist here in LA, and this is Tattoo Reacts. So with the first one, it's a beautiful piece. I think it does a beautiful contrast between the dark and the light, the open skin on the tattoo. So I think it's beautiful. The shading, lining, contrast, everything is just beautiful. I think it's very, very neat piece. For the second one, it's a micro little portrait of a cat. Beautiful work. I love when you put the effort behind the picture as well, it's very clean, neat. It gets to the point of what's the art behind it, and yeah, beautiful tattoo. Next one, damn. Everything is just super clean, super neat, sharp lines. The details are on point. The scales of the fish, I'm sure it was very tricky. Working on the back of someone is not an easy thing. It's always a little bit tricky with the skin, the position, how you have your client, and things that are going down on the sessions. I think it's very tricky. So having something so clean and neat takes a lot of patience and bunch of talent. So props to this artist. Great piece. Super clean little butterfly. It does very well game with the other pieces that this client has. I think it matches with the style this person is wanting to go with their tattoos and the sleeve that is working. So I think it's pretty neat to match up that style that previously has with a new little piece to do that patchwork. So it's beautiful. Then the other one, this little boulder. So this out of my ballpark. So I think it's pretty solid, very heavy contrast. I'm always there figuring out if you should do a little bit cleaner with the shading, but in general it's pretty neat. With these tattoos, I'm always trying to say that it's not only because you're just dropping one line with one needle that it should come out as however it is. So you need to be a little bit more cleaner with shaky lines or shading outside of the shape you're working on. So there's a lot of things that I could go in there, but maybe we'll skip that. That little corgi, I believe it's already healed, so it's another proof of micro portraits healing well. So I think it's beautiful. The contrast is there, the color, shape, everything feels nice on this tattoo. So, and it's already healed, so I think it's good. I see a little redness behind it, so who knows, maybe it's fresh, but it looks pretty neat, pretty good. I love the ornamental style, the ornamental type of tattoo. I think it's beautiful when you place it well. I think this client is going with a very symmetric type of design on her body, so everything is going to start matching up nicely. It feels dainty, feminine, stylish. Yeah, it's not that hard on anybody's skin. It's nice to match it up with your outfit, your way of living. So I think it looks beautiful. I like very much this type of style. It's nice. The contrast is right there. Goes pitch black on the bottom. I don't know, I've never been fan of boxing a tattoo on these shapes, circles, rectangles, triangles, everything that is just boxing the design. So that for me, it's always hard. I don't vibe that much towards it because I feel you limit your client when you're doing this. Your client is gonna be very limited until on the things that can do around it, because now it has these limitation lines around your tattoo. So I'm more leaning towards just leaving your design open around it if you're working on small pieces, because that's gonna let your client have more freedom around it and add up into the future. Day one is crazy though. For this type of work, I always have an issue with wonder. It's not my style to be talking about, but I feel these tattoo artists always put all the effort and all the focus on the actual main piece, doing all the little details and everything about it, But then when it's about the surrounding, it just becomes so lazy. Like there's no effort whatsoever on the background. You just like blast some like brush strokes there that are like going nowhere really. So I feel like your client is gonna have tough time adding something around that piece, or yeah, just keep blending in that background. But I always tend to suggest that if you're putting that much effort into the main piece, you should put the same effort into the background, because it takes away from like everything you've done there. Wow, like yeah, this Japanese style of tattoo, it's like a watercolor style. It's beautiful, beautiful piece, beautiful design. I think it's pretty well on the area this person is getting it, so it's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful work. The shading, the contrast, color palette, beautiful. This little one, there's some mistakes here and there for the line work, but in general I think it's a pretty nice piece. Some weird shading on the stomach. I don't know if it's like supposed to keep going with like the skeleton, but it gets off in the feet. So yeah, there's little details that like throws off some of the main designs. So you need to always kind of like focus on those tiny things that you may think that they're not gonna show up, but that's what it makes a good tattoo out of like the normal ones. Damn. Yeah, I think like I've seen a couple of designs of these artists like just with the blue lining and like how everything works. I'm from Mexico, so there's a thing called Talavera in Mexico that it's like this pottery of like that it's all white with blue accents, and I've always loved that. So seeing it translated into tattoos, for me it's just like beautiful, because it just feels that it blends so nice. It just feels so well worked and detailed, and like the lines, everything is pretty nice about it. The flower, I feel like the shading on the base and the sun is gonna heal pretty light. So I wonder how that whole thing is gonna look once it's fully done. So I would have done a little bit more contrast in those areas to bring thinking about the healing or the aging of this piece in particular. So I feel like those two aspects of it is just like looking nice, but I wonder if that would hold up with time. So that would be my only issue with it. Those robotic hands, I feel like they look cool for the picture, but I just don't vibe with it. Just like too crazy to just be yourself, look at yourself as a robot or some sort of cyber thing. So I think I've never been able to vibe with those. They look cool for the picture, like for the idea behind it, but I feel like it's just very weird to look at yourself as that. Like, because I mean, only if you're like if you work in Tesla or something like that, maybe it will work, but other than that I feel like it's weird. But yeah, other than that, all the tattoos were so nice. I was hoping to see something bad to talk bad, but like everything is just like beautiful. So great work.